Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so if you've ever, grabbed some non-approved app to just handle a work thing quickly,
Uh-huh.
then you're right in the middle of today's topic, shadow IT. We're going to peel back the curtain a bit on all this unauthorized tech that's running inside, well, pretty much every company.
Yeah, globally. And it's a big deal. Growing fast costs a fortune when things go wrong.
So our mission today really is to dig into the source material on this.
Exactly. We need to get the critical intelligence, understand the, frankly, staggering security risks, the compliance headaches.
But also, why are employees doing this? What's the human side? They're bypassing rules meant to protect everyone, right?
Right. There are fundamental forces at play. Okay, so let's maybe start with a clear definition.
Sure.
Shadow IT. It sounds a bit dramatic, but it's basically tech management gone rogue.
Yeah, rogue is a good word for it.
Formally, shadow IT just refers to the unauthorized deployment and use of apps or devices or services.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that kind of sidesteps the official IT governance and, crucially, the security controls.
So, tech outside the official list, usually brought in by departments, or even just individuals, not IT.
Precisely.
And what gets me is just how wide this spreads. It's not just, some coder setting up a secret server somewhere.
No.
Our sources point to really common stuff, things like Trello, Asana, even WhatsApp or Zoom being used for work projects.
Sensitive projects, often, without IT having a clue. And it's not just that they're not approved.
It's the specific danger they bring in.
That's the key thing, yeah. So if your team uses WhatsApp for, I don't know, critical company chat, well, that data is now sitting on personal phones, maybe subject to different data laws entirely, or, say, marketing uses an unsanctioned Trello board,
Yeah.
you instantly lose that official audit trail you need for, like, SOX compliance or something.
Okay. So you're trading convenience for compliance or security?
Pretty much.
So why? If the risks are that high, why are smart people doing this, ignoring the rules?
Well, it's almost never about causing trouble. It's usually about, well, necessity.
Just trying to get the job done.
Exactly. The main thing driving this is just this constant need for speed, for flexibility, things that often aren't there in the formal IT approval process.
Right. If the official tool is clunky or getting approval takes forever.
Yeah, weeks, months sometimes. Today's worker, they'll just find a faster way. They have to.
Okay.
So before we dive into the actual numbers on this growth, which are pretty eye-opening, we want you listening to just quickly think. What's one tool, just one, that you've used for work that wasn't, officially blessed by IT? And why? What made you reach for it? Just keep that in mind, because that little decision, it's happening everywhere, constantly.
Yeah, and the scale we're talking about, it's accelerating like crazy. Honestly, it's a bit shocking. We're seeing almost exponential growth in tech that security teams just can't see.
The stats really paint a picture. One source mentioned 41% of employees used unauthorized tech back in 2022.
41%. Wow. That's almost half the workforce using stuff IT doesn't know about.
Yep. And I bet some of that is accidental people just not realizing. But still, it's huge.
And it's getting worse, right? Looking ahead.
That's the projection. Gartner thinks we'll see a 75% increase in shadow IT use by 2027.
75% increase. Wow.
And we're also seeing the rate of growth for these unsanctioned tools speeding up, like 3 times faster than the growth of approved tools.
So why now? What's fueling this fire?
It really comes down to how we work now. All the remote and hybrid setups, they just make it harder for central IT to keep track of everything. That's part one.
Makes sense.
And then there's the cloud. It's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So employees can literally spin up powerful services in minutes.
With just a credit card.
Often, yeah. Personal card, department card. Bypasses procurement completely. And add to that the ongoing frustration with slow, old-school IT approvals. Well, it's like pouring gasoline on it.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical and maybe a bit scary. Let's talk specific examples. How does this actually blow up in the real world?
Right, the failure points. Well, one of the most dramatic high-risk examples is definitely cloud workload deployment.
Okay.
You often have developers, right? They need to move fast, push code, so they might spin up their own cloud servers, maybe for testing, using their own credentials.
Without going through IT.
Exactly. And that leads straight to major security mistakes, like leaving storage buckets wide open to the internet, or just racking up huge bills for servers IT doesn't even know exist.
Paying for invisible infrastructure. Ouch.
Yeah. Then there's the really common one, maybe more insidious, unauthorized file sharing.
Like using personal Google Drive for work docs?
Precisely. Or personal Dropbox. Teams start using these consumer tools for sensitive company data.
And they don't have the corporate level security.
Nope. They bypass the proper encryption, the access controls IT sets up, the audit logs, and when someone leaves the company.
The data might just walk out with them or get lost.
Exactly. It becomes orphaned, or worse. Then there's what you might call death by 1,000 cuts, below threshold purchases. It's when individual departments buy their own software subscriptions, like SaaS tools, but they keep it cheap, say under $100 a month, so it flies under the radar of formal IT purchasing rules.
Avoiding the big approval process.
Right. But you multiply that little $50 tool across, say, 50 different departments.
Yeah.
Suddenly you've got this huge shadow budget, maybe 6 figures,
Whoa.
spent on tools IT has never seen, never audited, probably can't support. And some of them might be running really critical business processes.
Okay, so we've got the problem. We've seen the examples. Let's talk bottom line. What are the actual costs, so the really big risks here?
Well, first, the absolute foundation is the expanded attack surface. It's simple. Unknown, unmanaged apps. They make you way more vulnerable.
To cyber attacks, malware.
All of it. Advanced threats, too. Because these apps are often running old code, they're not patched, security never even looked at them.
And that directly leads to data breach exposure, right?
Directly. If you've got tools operating outside your security safety net, they're just waiting to leak sensitive info. Customer data, intellectual property.
Which sounds like a compliance nightmare.
Oh, it's massive. Think about GDPR, IPA, SOX, whatever industry rules you have, they all depend on controlling data flow.
And you can't control it if you don't know where it's going.
Exactly. You can't prove compliance for systems IT doesn't even have on its list. It's impossible.
And beyond the legal stuff, there's just the day-to-day drag, isn't there?
Absolutely. Operational inefficiencies. These random tools create huge headaches for IT support who knows how to fix them. They create data silos, so teams can't share info properly. They cause integration nightmares between critical systems.
Okay, so what's the dollar figure on this? Does it really cost that much?
The numbers are pretty stark. IBM's security study, cited in our sources, found that about half, 50% of data breaches stem from simple inadvertent mistakes.
Just human error.
Yeah. But those mistakes get way bigger, way more dangerous because of the holes shadow IT creates. And the result, the average cost of a data breach now sits at a staggering $4.88 million.
4.88 million. Okay, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a number that should get any CEO's attention.
It should.
But hang on. If these tools, these cloud apps and consumer things are so popular, don't they have some security built in? Is IT just being like overly cautious here? Or is there a real fundamental gap?
That's a really important question, and no, it's not paranoia. The gap isn't usually about the quality of the tool itself. Lots of them are well built.
Okay.
The gap is integration. That's the critical vulnerability.
Huh.
These shadow systems operate completely disconnected from the corporate security fabric. Meaning they aren't tied into your company's single sign-on, your SSO. So people use weak passwords, reuse passwords, disaster waiting to happen. They bypass multi-factor authentication, MFA requirements, which we know is probably the single best defense against account takeovers.
Right.
They aren't monitored by endpoint detection and response EDR systems. They're just isolated islands. They can't be managed by the central identity platforms. And those islands, that's exactly what attackers target first.
Okay, that makes sense. We've focused a lot on the risk, the doom and gloom.
Understandably.
But like you said earlier, employees aren't trying to cause problems. They're just trying to be productive. So let's switch gears a bit. Let's really get into the human side, the motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. And the number one driver is simple: speed and efficiency.
Getting things done faster.
Right. I think we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
You face that official IT system, the approved one, and it takes like 6 clicks just to start something simple. While some specialized app could do it in like 30 seconds. That difference, that friction, that's the core driver. People need faster, smoother tools to hit deadlines.
And sometimes the official tools themselves are part of the problem.
Definitely. That's tool inadequacy. If the approved software is old, or it doesn't have the features people need, or it's just way too complicated, well, it's not meeting the business need. So people look elsewhere.
Okay. Speed, better tools.
No.
What else?
Accessibility. That's huge now. Modern cloud services are right there, instantly available, often cheap, or even free to start.
So why wait?
Exactly. Why go through a 6-week procurement process when you can solve your problem right now with a quick online sign-up, maybe using a company card? That ease of just grabbing something, it's a massive advantage for shadow IT.
It really puts IT departments in a tough spot.
It really does. So think about it. If you were running an IT department, how would you possibly balance this? You've got the absolute need for security and control on one side.
And this completely understandable, valid need for speed and better tools from the business on the other.
It's the central tightrope walk of modern business, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
And the answer isn't just blocking everything. That doesn't work.
Right, prohibition fails. That totally tracks. So the solution isn't just a bigger firewall.
Yeah,
It's got to be cultural, right? You can't just say no. You have to manage it, work with people.
exactly. Proactive management, not reactive blocking. So what does that look like? There are basically 4 key pillars, 4 strategies.
Okay, let's break them down.
First, foundationally, 0-1, enhance IT visibility. You absolutely have to see what's out there.
Can't manage what you can't see.
Precisely. So organizations need tools to detect this stuff. Specifically, things like cloud access security brokers, CASBs, and good network monitoring.
Okay, CASB. How does that actually work in this context?
Think of a CASB as like a security checkpoint sitting between your users and all those cloud services they might be using.
Like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, smart gatekeeper. It can see the traffic going to that unsanctioned Dropbox or Google Drive. And critically, it can enforce your company's security policies on that traffic, even if IT never approved the tool itself.
Oh, interesting. So it can like force encryption on files put in a personal Dropbox.
It can, yes. Or block certain risky actions. It gives you that visibility into the shadow usage and lets you apply controls. It identifies the apps and helps figure out their risk level continuously.
Okay, so visibility is step 1. That makes sense. What's next?
That visibility then fuels O2 foster collaboration. This is the cultural shift. IT has to start talking regularly with the business units.
Not just yelling at them for breaking rules.
Right. Non-punitively. Understand their pain points. What tech do they actually need? Why are they going rogue? You have to build bridges.
Okay, see it, talk about it, then what?
Then O3 enforce controls and education. You still need rules. Strict access controls are important. And data loss prevention DLP tools are crucial here.
DLP stops sensitive data from leaving?
Yeah, it tries to prevent your critical data from ending up in that shadow app in the first place. But controls aren't enough. You need ongoing security awareness training. Not just, here are the rules, but here's why these rules exist, here are the risks, here's the right way to get tools.
Educate, don't just dictate.
Okay, and the final piece.
Maybe the most important. O4, provide approved alternatives. This is key. Instead of just blocking those popular, easy consumer tools, IT needs to build its own portfolio.
A list of good stuff that's already vetted.
Exactly. Flexible, user-friendly, pre-approved options that actually meet those user demands for speed and features, but within the security and compliance framework. Make the easy way the safe way.
Give people good choices so they don't have to make bad ones. You got it. And we actually have a great example of a company that did this really well, the Chunk Group. They're a big international tech manufacturer.
Oh, yeah. What did they do? They proved you don't have to pick speed or security.
Pretty much. They didn't just try to lock things down harder. They actually redesigned their whole process for getting cloud services.
Okay.
They realized their developers needed autonomy to innovate quickly. So they built a cloud-native security setup. And the key result, they slashed the waiting time for getting approved, secure cloud services from 6 weeks down to just 48 hours.
Wow, 6 weeks down to 2 days. That's huge.
That's game-changing. That's the kind of speed that competes directly with just grabbing a tool off the shelf.
So they made the official way almost as fast as the shadow way?
Exactly. By automating approvals for a whole bunch of vetted tools, they found that balance. Developer freedom, but with solid IT oversight. It shows you can have visibility and governance alongside innovation and speed.
Okay, so wrapping all this up, synthesizing everything, what's the main takeaway here? It sounds like we're talking about taking this big vulnerability and flipping it into an opportunity almost.
I think that's right. The core insight really is that shadow IT. It's basically a strategic inevitability. It's just part of how fast business moves now.
You can't stop it entirely?
Probably not. So you have to manage it proactively, not just try to ban it after the fact. The real solution is a cultural investment. It's about finding ways to harmonize that need for speed with robust security.
Empowering people, but protecting the data.
That's the balance. Sustainable growth needs both.
That's a really critical lesson. Okay, so final thought then. If shadow IT is really driven by people being frustrated with the official tools and processes,
Which it often is.
how can companies actually redesign those processes? The procurement, the approvals. How can they make the official way as fast and frictionless as grabbing those consumer tools? That feels like the real mountain to climb, right? If you could solve that, you'd neutralize a lot of the risk at the source.
That is a powerful thought to leave everyone with. How do you make safe feel as easy as shadow?
Indeed. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the hidden world of unauthorized tech. We definitely encourage you to look more into things like cloud access security brokers, CASBs, and data loss prevention, DLP.
The security teams will appreciate it.
They certainly will.
Yeah.
Until next time.